The first thing that you have to do, and the first thing that President Trump will do, is stop the massive inflow of illegal aliens in the first place. You got to stop the bleeding before you can actually fix the problem here. And we still have thousands of people coming across the border illegally every single day. So the first thing you do, you re-implement deportations.
He was also fielding some questions there in Michigan. Vance now heads on to Wisconsin, where also Harris and Walz will be campaigning as well. Let's bring in now political analyst Mark Halperin to talk about the Harris-Walz ticket and also the strategy now with the Trump campaign. Welcome in, Mark. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Bianca.
All right, you said yesterday your phone was blowing up over this, debut of Walz, but there's also going to be a lot of questions about his policies, their policies. I mean, what are their policies? We go to the Kamala Harris website, Tim Walz website. They're not even listed there. So tell us about how they are going to kind of maybe keep her away from media, keep her away from hard questions, with JD asking, doing these free-for-all press conferences. Isn't it going to be kind of painfully obvious that they don't have a plan?
Well, I think this is great for JD Vance because it allows him to get out of the kind of PR death spiral he was in and to do what I think plays to his strength and a big part of why he was picked, to talk about the Biden-Harris legacy, the Biden-Harris agenda, the Biden-Harris record on issues. What do the Democrats want the race to be about? They want it to be about this gauzy personality pair. They want it to be about vibes. They want it to be about Donald Trump, bad man. What do the Republicans want to be about? They'd like it to be about the Biden-Harris record. And so I think, unfortunately for the Republicans, they're going up against a media love affair with the Democratic ticket. It's going to be very hard to pierce, but they're going to have to try to figure out a way to get to play into some reality. The press knows Americans are suffering from inflation. The press knows Americans think the border's been too open under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so trying to figure out how to get onto that, as opposed to the gauzy personality and the buddy picture the Democrats are now parading around the country, is the central challenge.
Here's one of the ads that the RNC posted. Let's play this and get your reaction to this.
Walz will be a rubber stamp for Kamala's dangerously liberal agenda, like allowing convicted felons to walk free, embracing anti-American Green New Deal policies, and giving up control of our southern border to criminal aliens and violent drug cartels.
So that's pretty effective messaging. I don't know if you think it'll resonate, but also wasn't it sort of a misstep, or maybe they did it intentionally to float Shapiro, but then they backtracked and they got a little blowback on that as well, Mark. I mean, it wasn't exactly the cleanest pick of a VP.
Well, on the first point, TV ads don't really play as big a role in presidential races as they do in other political races. It's about the candidates and what they say. And Donald Trump has not shown lately the kind of discipline that a lot of Republican strategists say he must show, making the exact points in that ad, but doing it from his own mouth. On the issue of the messiness, I think she was on track to pick Governor Shapiro, but it turned out he had so many controversies around him that it became easier to pick Walz. Walz has gotten support across the Democratic Party, from Bernie Sanders to Joe Manchin. Governor Shapiro was criticized by his own home state senator, John Fetterman, who agrees with him on Israel, one of the more controversial issues within the party, and Governor Shapiro. So he's got enemies. He had stipulations about what he wanted to be like to be on the ticket or be vice president. He's had 2 weeks of opposition research dumped on his head. Walz had none of that. And so I think it wasn't a matter of not understanding the value of Shapiro so much as she had an easy option and a hard option. Right. And given that this is a sprint to Election Day, she went with the easy option.
How concerned are they, or will they need to be concerned about these folks now who are saying Walz has been lying about his record with the military here? There's some veterans who have come out and said it's a case of stolen valor. I mean, that's something that's really going to resonate if it does come to pass.
It will with some folks. But again, the Republicans I talk to say every day we're trying to gin up controversy about the bottom of the ticket is a day we're not talking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's record on crime, immigration, and inflation. So maybe it'll go someplace, but it's going to take a lot. You think about scrutiny of vice presidential candidates.
Yes.
How often has that hurt the top of the ticket?